Here's the rewritten version with corrected grammar, smoother flow, simplified wording, and the same third-person commentary style and storytelling pace. There is a moment that passes so quickly that most men never even realize it happened. It lasts only 3, 4, maybe 5 seconds. No words are spoken, no dramatic moves are made, and no impressive speech is given. It is simply two people standing close with their arms around each other in a simple hug. Yet during those few quiet seconds, something important is taking place. She is reading him. Not his income, not his car, and not even his appearance. She is reading his energy, his confidence, his comfort with closeness, and the strength of his masculine presence. Based on what she feels in those brief moments, something changes inside her. She either feels naturally pulled toward him in a way she cannot fully explain, or she slowly and almost invisibly starts creating distance. The surprising truth is that most men never realize this is happening. They walk away from the hug believing everything went perfectly, never knowing they just failed a test they did not even know existed. And here is the part that deserves real attention. She is not making this choice on purpose. She is not mentally checking off a list. Everything is happening below the surface, built into her psychology and shaped by thousands of years of human evolution. Her nervous system is picking up signals long before her logical mind becomes aware of them. By the time the hug is over, the decision has already been made. Today, we are going to explore exactly what happens inside a woman's mind and body during a hug. This is not shallow advice or the same common tips that have been repeated 100 times. We are going deep into psychology, neuroscience, and evolutionary instincts to uncover 4 specific triggers that, when expressed naturally, make a woman feel something she struggles to explain. A quiet attraction, a comforting warmth, a lingering thought that stays with her long after the moment has passed. And before anyone assumes this is about manipulation or playing games, understand one thing. These are not tricks, they are signals. The same signals women have always responded to. Signals of safety, strength, and calm masculine presence. No one is controlling her mind. A man is simply learning to communicate in a language that most other men never take the time to understand. So let us begin. Picture 2 different men. Both are fairly attractive. Both speak with confidence. Both spend the evening making a woman laugh, keeping her attention and leaving a positive impression. Then the night comes to an end, and each one gives her a goodbye hug. The first man wraps his arms around her quickly, gives 2 polite taps on her back, and lets go before she has even settled into the embrace. The hug is quick, automatic, and completely forgettable. The second man gently pulls her close with calm confidence, places one steady hand between her shoulder blades, takes a slow breath, holds the embrace for just a moment longer than she expected, and as they separate, his cheek softly brushes against hers. On the drive home, she keeps thinking about the second man. She cannot explain the reason. She simply does. That small difference, those tiny choices that almost nobody notices, changes everything. So let us look closely at what the second man did and why it had such an effect. The first thing he used is something that can be called the anchor touch. Most men never think about where their hands naturally rest during a hug. They simply place them wherever they happen to land, around her shoulders or awkwardly in the middle of her back, giving a couple of polite taps as if they are applauding. It feels respectful. It feels normal. But to her, it often feels like nothing at all. The anchor touch is different. As he brings her into the hug, one hand rests firmly and intentionally right between her shoulder blades. Not on her lower back, not on her shoulder. Directly in the center of her upper back. That location is not chosen by accident. From a physical point of view, this is where people carry a great deal of stress and tension. It is where the weight of a long day settles and where the body naturally tightens itself. When someone places a calm and steady hand there, the nervous system responds almost instantly. But something even deeper is happening beneath the surface. From an evolutionary perspective, women are naturally drawn toward signs of protection and stability in the men they feel attracted to. This is not a modern idea. It is ancient human biology. For countless generations, survival depended on recognizing men who could provide safety, remain grounded, and stay calm when life became difficult. Modern life may look different, but those instincts have never completely disappeared. Her nervous system is still operating on very old patterns. When his hand rests on that spot with calm confidence, something deeply instinctive responds. Her body receives a message that never needs to be spoken aloud. The message says that she is safe, protected, and standing beside strength. As a result, some of the tension she carries begins to fade. She relaxes into the hug just a little. Not dramatically or obviously, but enough for her body to notice, even if her mind does not. And she never fully understands why. Here is the part that women almost never say out loud. She walks away remembering how warm the hug felt, how safe it seemed, and how naturally right it was. She is not thinking about perfect hand placement or technique. She simply remembers a feeling she cannot explain but secretly wants to experience again. That is the quiet power of the anchor touch. And what makes it even more effective is that it becomes even stronger when it is combined with the second trigger. Most hugs follow an invisible social rhythm. Two people embrace, hold each other for an acceptable amount of time, and then naturally pull away together. It is almost like a dance that no one was taught, but everyone somehow knows. The moment that rhythm is changed, even by only half a second, it sends a message that rises above the normal pattern of polite social interaction. When you hold that hug just a half second longer than she expects, her brain notices. It cannot help but notice. The moment she feels you are still holding when she expected you to release, a micro sequence activates inside her. First comes awareness. Oh, he is still holding. Then comes curiosity. Does he want this? Does he feel something? And then, if your energy is calm and confident rather than needy or tense, comes something warmer. A flutter. A quiet spark of something she cannot name but definitely feels. This is not about trapping someone or making them uncomfortable. The key distinction, the thing that separates confident intimacy from desperation, is the energy behind the hold. A man who holds too long because he is nervous, because he is afraid to let go, because he is craving her validation. She feels that. It actually makes her want to pull away faster. But a man who holds just a beat longer because he is genuinely comfortable in that moment. Here's the rewritten version with improved grammar, smoother flow, simpler wording, and the same third-person commentary style, engagement, and overall length. When he holds that hug for just half a second longer than she expects, her mind notices it instantly. It cannot ignore it. The moment she realizes he is still holding her when she thought he would let go, a quiet chain of reactions begins inside her. First comes awareness. Oh, he is still here. Then comes curiosity. Does he actually want this moment? Is he feeling something too? And if his energy stays calm and confident instead of anxious or needy, another feeling starts to grow. A gentle flutter. A quiet spark of emotion that she cannot explain but clearly feels. This is not about making someone uncomfortable or forcing a moment to last. The difference between confident intimacy and desperation is the energy behind the embrace. A man who holds on because he is nervous, afraid to let go, or desperate for validation sends a feeling she immediately picks up on. Instead of pulling her closer, it usually makes her want to step away. But when a man stays in the hug for just one extra beat because he is genuinely comfortable, fully present, and completely relaxed with the closeness, the message changes completely. It communicates quiet strength. Think about how uncommon that really is. Most men rush through physical contact because they worry about looking awkward or coming across too strongly. They hug quickly, give a couple of taps, and pull away before she has a chance to feel anything at all. Without realizing it, they send a message they never intended to send. They reveal that they are uncomfortable with intimacy, uncertain about themselves, and managing nervousness instead of expressing confidence. She senses every bit of that without a single word being spoken. But when he stays calm, grounded, and present for that extra half second, he tells a completely different story. He shows that he knows what he wants, that he is comfortable wanting it, and that he does not feel the need to apologize for sharing a genuine moment of closeness. That quiet confidence is naturally attractive. It becomes the kind of memory she keeps replaying long after the evening is over. And that naturally brings us to the third trigger, which may be the most overlooked one of all. Here is something most men never stop to consider. When they hug a woman they are attracted to, how are they breathing? If they answer honestly, they are probably barely breathing at all. Maybe they are taking quick, shallow breaths, or even holding their breath completely, standing stiff with every muscle tight because they are overthinking every tiny movement, paying attention to every sensation, trying to perform instead of simply being present. She feels all of that tension immediately. She notices the stiffness, the held breath, and the nervous energy coming from his body. Her nervous system reacts the same way every nervous system reacts to signals of stress. It becomes guarded. It tightens. It stops relaxing because it does not fully feel safe. Now imagine the opposite picture. Imagine a man who gently lets out one long, slow breath during that same moment of closeness. His breathing is steady, relaxed, and controlled. His chest rises and falls naturally. His body carries no tension, and he is completely comfortable in his own skin, fully present in the moment, instead of trapped inside his thoughts. What happens inside her at that point is surprisingly powerful. Psychology and neuroscience describe a process known as nervous system co-regulation, the natural way two human nervous systems begin matching each other during close physical contact. When he is genuinely calm, not pretending but truly relaxed, her nervous system starts following his lead. Her body begins to loosen because his body is loose. Her breathing slows because his breathing is slow. She settles into the moment because he is already settled within himself. This is one reason women often describe feeling peaceful around certain men. They say they feel safe, comfortable, and as if everything is fine whenever he is nearby. They usually call it chemistry or personality, but much of what they are actually experiencing is this natural biological response. His calm nervous system is helping regulate hers. His steady breathing quietly tells her body that there is nothing to fear and that she can simply relax. And when a woman truly relaxes in someone's arms, even if only for a few seconds, something else begins to happen. She starts forming a stronger emotional connection. Feelings of trust grow much faster during moments where safety is genuinely felt. Relaxation and trust do not simply appear together by coincidence. One creates the other. When she relaxes with him, she is also trusting him. And once trust begins to grow, the path toward a deeper connection opens in a way that no clever conversation or perfect pickup line ever could. So breathe slowly and with purpose. Let the chest rise and fall naturally. Let the body become a steady place where her nervous system can settle. This one simple habit of calm breathing during a hug can influence how she feels around him more than almost anything else he could consciously try to do. And now comes the fourth trigger, the one she almost never talks about, the one that quietly plants a thought in her mind that refuses to disappear. As the hug naturally comes to an end, he turns his head ever so slightly, allowing his cheek to softly brush against hers. It lasts only a brief instant. It is gentle, subtle, and almost accidental. It is neither aggressive nor overly intimate, and it ends almost before it begins. Yet her mind does not move past it nearly as quickly. There is a reason for that. In human psychology, touching someone's face carries deep emotional meaning. Very few people are allowed into that space. Usually it is reserved for those who feel closest, a parent, a partner, or someone whose presence feels comforting and familiar.